everyone, I'm Julia. I am going to show you how I use my Le Creuset 9-quart Dutch oven. Okay, so we're going to start today with my family's favorite that I make, which is my spaghetti sauce. Okay, so let's get started. Bon appetit. Okay, so I'm going to start not on high, okay? Warming up my stove like medium. And this is the most expensive olive oil that I can afford. And I ran it around like 3 times. So that's probably about 2 tablespoons on how fast this is flowing. I have already cut up onions. I usually use yellow sweet onions, Vidalias. You can use white onions. This was about 1/2 of a green pepper. So each of these is 1/2 cup. So I have 1/2 cup of onion, 1/2 cup of green peppers. Also did, right now in the grocery store, there's only giant garlic. So I did 1 giant clove, probably 2 or 3 smaller cloves. I chopped up the garlic ahead of time and I emulsified it with some salt in the side of my knife. So I get more of a paste. And then I'm going to add my onions. I don't normally put everything in ramekins, but for convenience sake, that's what we're doing. I am putting this around, and I'm going to add some salt. That is pure sea salt that I just leave in a thing up on my stove. Okay, once the onions and peppers are fragrant and coming together, I'm going to use a whole can of tomato paste. This is Trader Joe's organic. You want to cook the tomato paste, really cook it. You want to get the raw flavor out of there. Okay, you can see the tomato paste is starting to get sticky on the bottom of the pot, which is what you want. You're going to start to smell it go from raw to have more of a cooked tomato smell. Okay, the tomato paste, onions, and peppers and garlic have all come together nicely. So I've got a bit of like an orangey film on the bottom. So I need to deglaze this pan. I'm going to use red wine. Use wine that you would drink. Don't put wine into your food that you're not going to drink. Okay, next, I've got my pan deglazed from my wine. I am using a 14.5 ounce can of whole tomatoes. They don't look like they're whole because I chopped them up. I don't like sauce. I want to add some texture to this. Okay, next thing, before I forget, red pepper flakes. I actually like to add some heat to my sauce and put just a pinch. That's all it takes, just a hint. And at this point, I'm also going to add a little bit more salt and just a little shaker of pepper. Next, I have a ginormous number 10 can of tomato sauce that I got at my big membership box store. So, very careful. I like to make sauce in the big batch, and then I always have leftovers. I call it my little gifts I leave in my freezer. All right, so this is still kind of thick, so I'm gonna add veggie stock to thin it out, but then it cooks down. So we have layers and layers of flavor. We have the onions and peppers, the wine, the tomato paste, the crushed tomatoes, and now I'm gonna add a whole big thing of vegetable stock. I chose this one because it is stock that I would make. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mix this all up. I have my stove turned on high. I want it to reach a boil. And then I'm going to put my lid back on once it reaches a boil, and I'm gonna let it simmer. Okay, so we've been cooking, I don't know, 45 minutes at least. Okay, starting to smell done. I just tasted it. A couple of things I need to add. I add sugar. So that was about 2 tablespoons, okay? It's gonna take that, any bitter flavor out and it just sweetens it up. Okay, last thing I add is my herbs. I always do a combination of basil, rosemary, and fresh parsley. I am gonna let this go for about another 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna taste it and adjust it for anything I need. So we're almost done. Hey everybody, thank you for spending time with me today. I appreciate it. Just to finish up, the last thing I did, I add a little bit more sugar, a little bit more red pepper for my daughter who wanted some more heat, and some salt. So you're gonna adjust that to taste. The beauty of this is that you know what is in your sauce, okay? I haven't bought a can of sauce in I don't even know how many years. So you get to make it how you want. Make sure to subscribe down below, click like, and tell me what you want to see, and I will try and make a video for you. And like Jacques Pepin says, happy cooking and bon appetit.